we've got a new section of the show called 10 Key Steps to Ace That Interview. That's based on Annemarie's wonderful book of the same title. And 2 weeks ago we talked about preparation, the importance of researching the company before you interview. But today we're talking about the importance of self-marketing, the importance of being positive and maintaining a positive attitude within the interview. Did you want to have a bit of a chat about that, Annemarie?
Sure, we'll spend a couple of minutes on that, and this will become another YouTube post. As we said last week, preparation is really important, and I think that a lot of people that speak to both Keith and I seem to be quite anxious, and of course that's only expected. However, there are some people that get so anxious and so nervous that this can unfortunately sabotage their entire performance throughout the interview. And some of the tips that we want to share today really support you in overcoming that. If it is a bit more in depth because you've had numerous, negative experiences, then it's probably worthwhile speaking to someone because there may be some other things that you need to address. But firstly, again, research and preparation is key. It's like if you're going to go for an examination. If you do your study beforehand, you feel well prepared, you're going to then feel a lot more confident with the interview because you've got an understanding of what they're looking for. You've also got a lot of examples to bring to the table during the interview to show your relevancy, your skills and your competencies to be able to support you in doing that role well. Another area too is in your research or your preparation is to rehearse your examples. Speak them out loud, either in front of a mirror or even perhaps in front of a partner so that they can then give you some ideas, some feedback on how you've come across. Because when you do rehearse the wording, rather you stumble and ah and have gaps, within your response, when you're practicing it, rather than in an interview situation, so that you're familiar with what you want to say, so that in an interview situation, it's articulate. You're fluent in your communication and you come across a lot more confident to the interviewer, of course. And then one other step that we want to mention too, there's a lot more, of course, in 10 Key Steps to Ace That Interview, but we just wanted to pick a couple today, is visualization. This is such a powerful technique across all different areas and elements of life. I know a lot of top athletes use visualization too in enhancing their performance out there in their sporting field or whatever sport they happen to follow. I know of a particular case where a basketball player had an injury and so couldn't train for a number of weeks. And even though she wasn't able to train, she went through a lot of, still visualization techniques of actually practicing and doing all of those techniques so that she actually decreased the amount of time that she got back up to where she was playing at that, high standard because of that visualization. What it does is if you visualize yourself actually there at the interview, you imagine yourself or visualize yourself answering correctly, and really having a good, positive, relationship that really does help you, tenfold sometimes in really making a positive impact once you're actually there. Did you want to say anything on a couple of those points, Keith?
Well, I think a lot of that stuff is absolutely quintessential when it comes down to the interview. I think the importance of staying positive and the importance of feeling positive within yourself is so important. In the chapter that we're referring to in this book, you've often said that the job doesn't go to the most qualified person. It often goes to the person that presents themselves the best on the day. Now, you have to have obviously some key skills, some core competencies, but it could be the key difference between getting a job and not is staying positive and visualizing yourself in that job. Practicing the interview, maybe doing the research and talking in front of the mirror is a great idea, a fantastic idea. Talking with a partner and thrashing out some questions, doing some rehearsal. But I think you've narrowed off most of the key questions there, most of the key points. So I think you're right. That's the essence of staying positive and self-marketing.